652, Big 550, KTRS. The nation is looking in horror as what happened in Oakland. Alex Stone has been covering this for the last couple of days. Good morning, Alex. What's the latest?
McGraw, good morning. They have brought in a big crane here today as they are beginning to take apart this building to try to get into the last section. They have about a quarter of the building that they've been working to get into where everything just collapsed, and it's been dangerous to get into that section. They think that the high numbers of bodies that they had been finding, where it had been jumping 10, 15, 20 bodies at a time, that is beginning to end now. They have pulled out 36 bodies. They think it will likely be around that number. Initially, on Saturday morning, they had said at worst-case scenario, 40 could be dead. Well, we're getting pretty close to that right now at 36. That estimate may not have been far off. They're hoping they don't find any more. They think they're coming to the end of the search. They may find another 1, 2, 3. We're going to get an update in about an hour from officials when they give us an update of what happened overnight. But they think that the end of the search is now coming.
Do we know how the fire started, Alex Stone?
No, we don't know. The ATF is here on scene. They have found the point of origin, at least where they believe the fire started, from burn marks and from twisted metal and other things below the dance floor in the back of the warehouse. But now they have to work on the cause, and that could take some time. Quite possibly it's going to be something electrical. They don't think at this point it's arson. They don't know, but it's not going down that road. This was a mess of extension cords and propane tanks and other things. They were stealing power here. They were not legally paying for electricity. So they were stealing it and connecting it together with cords. It may have something to do with that.
Heard you on with John Carney yesterday. The building wasn't zoned residential, wasn't zoned commercial. It was just basically a warehouse. Because of that, I'm assuming that's why it was so hard to get out, because there were no fire exits or anything?
Yeah, that's the thing. There are no exits. It's an 80-year-old warehouse. It was supposed to only be a warehouse storing things, so it was not built with humans in mind in the sense of there would be a large crowd in here. How would we get them out if something went wrong? There are 2 doors on this building, and they are far away from the stairs that went upstairs where the dance floor had been set up. But when the warehouse was built with the second story, that upstairs would have been for, boxes and crates and different things to be stored up there. So there wasn't a lot of thought about evacuation routes. The stairs that were in place were made out of wood pallets. You can imagine how quickly those went up.
Right.
And they were on the opposite side from where the doors were. So you came down those stairs, which could only hold, according to those who had been inside, 2 people at a time. And this was a packed building. Only 2 people or those stairs would collapse of people coming down. And then they had to run across the entire length of the warehouse to get to the door. All of this while the power was out. It was pitch black. It was midnight. Fire was raging, and the entire place had filled up with thick black smoke. The people who were inside had no chance of getting out.
Alex Stone, the owner of the building, he's sort of become a point of this story as well. Anything new with the owner?
Well, the owner is, at least at this point, not really in the spotlight because she says she didn't know anything about what was going on, that somebody rented out her building. She owns a lot of properties, and she was promised nobody was living in there. The operator of this, Derek Ion Almina, he has become the focus. He was the guy who was renting out the warehouse. He had built this whole thing. It was like a hive inside, incredible amounts of stuff. They had created a labyrinth in this artist colony of this building that they had created inside of the warehouse itself. This was his creation. He was renting out space. People were paying $700 to $1,500 a month to live there. That's cheap here in the Bay Area, where a 1-bedroom apartment can be $3,500.
Right.
So somebody saw something for $700, and they said this is a good deal if they wanted to live in this communal artist type community. But he was the guy running it. He's now staying at a hotel. He's lawyered up. He could potentially be looking at murder charges. A DA here, Nancy O'Malley, telling us she is just starting her investigation. They are interviewing those who ran this place, but somebody will likely at some point face charges, and they could be murder charges.
Alex Stone, ABC News correspondent, live in Oakland. Alex, thanks for checking in.
You got it. Thanks, McGraw.
657, Big 550, KTRS. Eric Greitens' wife, the governor-elect, was